So as you can see from the title, I lost 4 grand today on Facebook. It's not clickbait. I actually had an entire other video planned, scripted, and ready to roll for today. But with this happening, literally as I was about to start recording the other video, I figured I would talk about it, explain, what happened, what are some things that you can do to prevent it in the future so it doesn't happen to you, and just talk a little bit about the risks of drop shipping, specifically on Facebook, the risks of like running an online business and, things that you can do to mitigate them. So what happened realistically, this wasn't a suspension like anything else. Like I've been suspended on Facebook, honestly, like 50 plus times, maybe even closer to 100. I'm not even sure. And every single time, in the beginning, like getting suspended was, a little bit more of a headache because it took like a day or two, sometimes like 3 days to get your account back. And obviously when your account came back, like your orders wouldn't pick up as fast. Plus you're losing out on all the orders, like within those days that you weren't suspended. But as like Facebook got more and more used to those random suspensions happening, what would happen is you could just get your account back very, very quickly. I've made a video on how to do that for anybody that needs to know. If you actually just get your account or your marketplace restricted, there's a very easy and simple fix and a very easy like step-by-step process that I like to go through to make sure that you get your account back up fast. And every single time I'm able to get my account back up within 24 hours. I'll link that video at the bottom of the description if you want to check it out. Now, this was different. And what happened today actually happened to me one time previously in all of my experience dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace. This happened to me one time previously, like maybe the first 3 or 4 months of my dropship journey on Facebook Marketplace, and then it hasn't happened since. So this is only the second time that it happened to me. So what happened is, and I'll drop that video as well, the very first one, like my reaction to it happening initially when I first got started. I'll drop that at the bottom of the description if you want to check it out after this video as well, to give you a little bit more insight on like things that I was thinking then and ways that you can approach it, because the tips that I'm going to give in that video are very similar to the tips in this video, and they were helping me for a long time. And then I stopped doing them. I got not complacent because it hadn't happened in a while, but like realistically just kind of got lazy because it's like, all right, it happened once. It was like random and it's not going to happen again. Well, today it happened again and I lost about $4,000, right? And that's just $4,000 based on the cost of goods of the orders that I missed out on because they got canceled. So what happened was it was probably, I don't even know. You're going to see on the screen because I'm going to show you the screenshots of it. But it was probably like an hour ago that this happened. Facebook went through and canceled all my orders. And I literally got notified like, oh, wow, like there's a bunch of emails I got all of a sudden. What happened? Facebook went through and canceled about 50 of my orders, maybe a little bit less. It might have been like 45 orders. So all my current orders, I noticed that they canceled, and like it happened immediately, all in sequence. And so I was like, that's really, really weird. I've seen this one other time. So I went to my marketplace, and sure enough, my entire account had been disabled, right? So it wasn't just my marketplace that was restricted. My entire Facebook account had been disabled. So what happens when that happens, okay, is first and foremost, what I think happens is like a bot flags unusual activity, or for whatever reason, a bot flags something that it doesn't just think is like, detrimental to your marketplace or your sales. It thinks your entire account maybe either got hacked, your entire account had suspicious activity, could have been like an intellectual property thing, could have been just something random that the bot flagged, right? For whatever reason, the bot flagged your account. And so they want you to go back through the process of verifying who you are, verifying the things that you've done recently, right? Like your comments, the group posts, like all that good stuff, right? Your marketplace stuff, and make sure that you are who you say you are, and also change your password. Okay. So when this happens, typically that's happened to me several different times, but this one was different. This one, like they wanted me to verify all my documents, like make sure I was who I was who I say I am. And also make sure that, all the things that I've done recently are things that I've done. I didn't get hacked or somebody else isn't controlling my account. Okay. So I had to give all that stuff. I had to go through that process. And then when I came back, all my marketplace orders that were there had been canceled, right? Because what happens is they disabled your account, and then automatically what happens is all the current active orders get canceled. And so that's how I ended up losing that money, because as a drop shipper, I've already gone through and processed all those orders. And so I'm out the money for processing those orders if I can't cancel them, and I'm out the cost of goods, not to mention the profit that I would have made on those orders, right? So adding them up, I'm just estimating here, it was about 45 to like 50 orders, probably like 46, 47, something like that. Estimated, going through like the expenses and the cost of goods in my spreadsheet, because I keep track of everything. I always recommend that you do that. It was a little bit over 4 grand. So 4 grand cost of goods for those specific orders that got canceled. but that doesn't count the profit I would have made on top of that, like the revenue generated, right? So realistically, it's probably closer to five, if not even like 5,500 that I actually lost, but $4,000 immediately cost of goods out of my pocket that I'm not going to see again because I've already processed those orders and they're already like on their ways to the customer, right? So like I can't do anything about them. So those customers are gonna get free orders, but they don't have to pay anymore because their orders got canceled, okay? And this is an automatic thing that happens, like I don't have any control over. And I was super pissed off about this like an hour ago. It's happened to me before, but I took a deep breath. I went out, dropped some things off at the post office that I had to do for another part of my dropshipping business and kind of just, reset a little bit. I'm not that pissed off about it anymore. It is what it is. It happened. These things happen in business, but they also specifically happen on Facebook Marketplace, especially with dropshipping. And so I wanted to talk about it today because a lot of people show like the good things that happen, right? And I do that obviously because there's a lot of good things that come from it, right? Like I built a lot of my business on the back of Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, and I recommend it to everybody, okay? But that said, a lot of people don't talk about the bad things that happen, like days like this where you lose $4,000 or, your account gets suspended or things like that. Most people don't talk about that stuff if they happen. And so as always, I want to give full transparency and like there's a lot of good, don't get me wrong, but there is definitely bad that comes with that good. That said, I feel very fortunate to be in a position where like, yeah, I lost $4,000. Yeah, I'm very pissed off about it because it had nothing to do with anything that I did. Like, it's just one of those things that Facebook does. Like, I got auto flagged and then they got auto canceled and I'm out that money, right? Because I drop ship. But I'm very fortunate to be in a position that because of Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, I've built my income up enough that like this isn't that big of a deal to me. Like, yeah, I lost $4,000, but oh well, I'll just carry on and we'll move forward, right? I'm still going to make a lot of money this month doing it. I still recommend it. Obviously, these things, are risky, and you need to understand what to do if they happen and how to prevent them. Obviously, I'm going to talk about that here in a second. And I know that I'm ranting here, but I don't really have any other way to approach this. I just want to talk about like my mindset and things that like you might face in this business because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but there are risks that come with it, just like any business, especially when you're dropshipping, okay? Because you're not in control of that stuff. Like you're just facilitating the sale. So there's a lot that can go wrong within those parameters, okay? But again, like I'm very fortunate. The whole reason that it's not that big of a deal is because I've made so much money in Facebook, like drop shipping on Facebook Marketplace. And even today, like even this month, like, yeah, I just like whatever I was making in the entirety of the month, like just killed $4,000 of that, but I'm still going to make decent money, probably estimate around at least 10 grand profit over all my drop shipping stores. So it's not the end of the world. It's annoying for sure, but I just wanted to bring it to light because like I always say, I want to give full transparency with all these things for you guys, but I also want to talk about the bad that comes with the good. All right. So what can you do moving forward, to prevent these things? Well, there's not a whole lot you can do to avoid getting flagged every once in a while for that. There's not a whole lot that you can do to avoid getting your marketplace account going down and suspended. But like I said, I dropped that video. If your marketplace does get suspended, it's very easy to get it back. Check that video out at the bottom of the description. If this happens to you, obviously, it can be annoying, but there's one way that I approach going for, like that I actually, when it happened the first time, I approached to prevent these things from happening. So like I didn't lose money on these orders, and that's to mark all of your orders shipped, because the orders that get canceled are the orders that you leave active, right? So what you should do is you should use Track Taco. I've made an entire video on this as well. I'll drop that video at the bottom of the description for reference if you guys need to know how to do that. Basically what it is you can generate tracking numbers that to within a given time frame, a week out, a week and a half out roughly. Sometimes it's difficult to get like long ones like that, or like a couple of days out to a given town, a given state within a given time frame from FedEx or UPS. So you can generate tracking numbers for as cheap as like 25 cents a tracking number, and then protect your account so you're not leaving orders active in limbo if you're worried about this, okay? Now, if you're dropshipping on a small scale and you have like 10 active orders, you don't really need to worry about this. It's not that big of a deal because you're really not scaled enough to the point where this is going to hurt you. But if you want to, whether you're doing it on a small scale or you're doing it on a big scale, if you want to protect your account, this is something I'm going to be doing moving forward. It's just marking all my orders like shipped already. So like every single day I'll mark all my active orders that I processed shipped. So I'm not leaving 45 or 50 orders active on the day and then run the risk of this happening again, right? So it's just something little that you can do to mitigate your risk. I just kind of wanted to talk about this. My account's back up now. It was super annoying. I got my account back up, obviously, by going through the prompts. And then, just like I always talk about, I emailed support to get my marketplace re-enabled. And when my marketplace was re-enabled, I realized that all my orders had been canceled, obviously, and I was out that money. So on top of that, what you can do, like I said, is you can mark all your active orders shipped every single day, so you don't run into this potential issue, obviously. And then if your account gets suspended, or if it goes under, like, you don't have to worry about like any of your other orders because you've already marked them shipped, so Facebook won't cancel them. But also, you can go to all your suppliers if it's a supplier that's easy to do that. So like Amazon's very easy to do that. Walmart's typically easy to do that. Suppliers like eBay, or where you're dealing with like specific third-party sellers, a lot of times will not cancel your orders, so that those will be a little bit more of a headache. But depending on your supplier, what you want to do if this happens to you is immediately go to your suppliers and cancel all your current orders for those specific corresponding orders on Facebook that have gotten canceled. So at least you can recoup some of that money. Okay, I was able to recoup I think like 3 or 4 of those orders, but the majority of them had been shipped already, and so it is what it is. But like I said, keep in mind the things that you can do to prevent this in the future, but also like things that you can do to avoid it, like actually having a detrimental impact. Like I said, marking your orders shipped ahead of time with Track Taco. These things happen whether you're running an e-commerce business in general, whether you're drop shipping. Like, these things happen when you're working with third-party websites that you don't control, okay? This is just a Facebook thing, super annoying, but another lesson here of why you don't want to rely on just one platform. I learned this the hard way so many different times. Like, I can think of so many times. Like, I got suspended from eBay a long time ago. I got suspended so many times on Amazon when like private label or like online arbitrage on Amazon was literally my main income. And like those days when I was suspended on Amazon and that was my main income were so stressful and so frustrating because and that's what taught me to not rely solely on one third-party website and one stream of income. Okay. And so, yes, this is annoying, but I'm very fortunate to be in a position where like this doesn't really affect me that much because I have multiple streams of income. Not only that, I drop ship on many different websites. And that's also super important of why you guys should not just maintain like and focus on one website. Yes, like don't get me wrong, Facebook Marketplace is the best one currently. And then probably Amazon's a close behind that. But you shouldn't just focus on those, like dropship everywhere, right? Like dropship, I've made videos on dropshipping on Grailed. I made videos on dropshipping on Tradesy. I made videos on dropshipping on Poshmark, Mercari, Citizen. I have one coming on Curtsy in the coming days, right? That was the video that I planned for today that I actually didn't get to put out because I wanted to talk about this, right? And I know that this was a rant, and hopefully I didn't get too off tangent and off base, but I really hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video. Like I said previously, probably 5 to 10 times already, I want to talk about the bad that comes with the good because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. These things happen. And yes, this was annoying, but the whole reason that it's not that big of a deal to me is because I was able to make a lot of money dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace in the first place. And I'm not that worried about it going forward. I'm just going to mark all my orders shipped. Okay. So if you have any questions on any of this stuff, let me know. I will answer them, obviously. I linked the videos that I referred to down at the bottom of the description. I'll also link a video up in the right-hand corner right now if you do want to make sure that you have like it down pat. So if your marketplace does get suspended, you can come back very, very fast. I see in the Facebook groups all the time, like people saying like, hey, I've been suspended for 3 days. And like, I haven't faced that issue in literally like 6 months plus because I literally go through the step-by-step process of what I say to do in that video, and it works so well. I just did it like after I got my account back up to get my marketplace account back up, and it came back in like 20 minutes. Okay. So that video, like I said, will help you guys. Any questions, let me know. Please give it a like if you appreciate any of the value in this video. And obviously you appreciate the transparency of me explaining these things and giving you like the good that comes with the bad that comes with the good, right? Rant over. Just another Facebook thing, annoying, but it's part of the business.